I don't scare easily, but what happened that morning still doesn't make sense. Nothing touched me, nothing chased me, and yet I've never run like that in my life. This was my first year hunting, but I wasn't new to the woods. I grew up around them, spent hours alone as a kid. No fear, no hesitation. The forest always felt familiar, safe even. The day before this happened, I went to the exact same spot. Everything felt normal. You could hear crickets, leaves moving, birds calling in the distance. That natural background noise that reminds you you're not alone, but you're not in danger either. I remember thinking, I missed this. But the next morning, something changed. I drove down the same trail, same route, same time, but the moment I turned off the engine, silence, not peaceful silence, the kind that feels wrong. No insects, no birds, not even wind. Just nothing. And if you've ever been deep in the woods, you know, that's not normal. That kind of silence doesn't calm you. It warns you. I stood there for a moment, just listening, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe the animals just weren't active yet. So I ignored it, grabbed my gear, started getting ready, and then I heard it, a scream, far off to my right. It didn't sound like an animal. It sounded human, but not completely, like something trying to imitate a human voice, but getting it slightly wrong. I froze, waited, and then it came again. Same direction, same unnatural tone, long, stretched, and almost painful to listen to. At that point, I should have left. I know that now, but I didn't. I told myself it was probably a coyote, maybe something injured, so I started walking slowly, carefully, trying to stay rational. About 15 minutes in, it happened again, but this time it wasn't far away. It was ahead of me, closer, too close, and this time it didn't just sound human. It felt intentional, like it knew I was there, like it was trying to get my attention. That's when something inside me changed. No logic, no confidence, just instinct. I turned around and I ran, didn't look back, didn't stop. Got in my Jeep and drove straight home. I didn't go back the next day or the day after. Actually, I haven't been back there since. A few days later, I tried to find answers. I thought maybe someone else had experienced it, and I did find something. An old post. A guy describing almost the exact same thing. Same area. Same kind of scream. But no real answers. Just guesses. And that's what still bothers me, because I keep asking myself, if it was just an animal, why did the forest go completely silent first? Why did it sound almost human? And why did it feel like it was getting closer? Like it was following me? Sometimes, late at night, I still hear that sound in my head, and I wonder, did something put it back where it belonged, or did something make sure it was never meant to be found? I don't know what I heard that day, but I do know this. The woods I grew up in don't feel the same anymore. And maybe they never were what I thought they were. I still remember the sound, not the gunshot itself, but the silence right before it. It was supposed to be a normal hunting trip. Sohan, yeah, let's call him Sohan, and his friend had planned this for weeks. A quiet escape, no distractions, just the wilderness like this. They drove as far as they could, then hiked nearly 10 kilometers into the Norwegian backcountry. No cell signal, no other people, and legally, no one else was even supposed to be there. That's what made it perfect. For the first 2 days, everything felt normal, peaceful even. They set up a small tent beside a still glassy lake, cooked food over a campfire, talked about random things, life, plans, the usual. And at night, it was quiet, too quiet, the kind of silence that doesn't comfort you. It watches you. On the last night, they stayed up a little later than usual, just sitting by the fire eating dinner. The only light came from the flames Everything beyond that, pitch black. That's when they heard it, a single gunshot, echoing from the other side of the lake. They both froze. It didn't make sense. There shouldn't have been anyone else out there. For a moment, they just looked at each other, confused, but not scared. Not yet. Maybe another hunter, Sohan muttered. They shrugged it off, went back to eating, but something felt off, like the forest itself had gone quiet. No wind, no insects, nothing, just waiting. Then about 10 minutes later, another shot. Closer this time, way closer. Before they could even react, go crack. The bullet slammed into the rocks just a few meters away from them. That's when fear hit. Real fear, not the kind you imagine. The kind that shuts your body down for a second. They didn't say a word. They didn't need to. They just ran. Straight to the tent, grabbed their shotguns, and bolted into the forest. Branches scratching their arms, feet slipping on uneven ground. They didn't care. They just needed distance. They ran until their lungs burned. Then they dropped low, hiding deep between the trees. And for a moment, there was silence again, but not the peaceful kind. The kind that feels like something is searching. Then, another shot. This time from the direction of their camp. They both flinched, and deep down, they knew. That shot wasn't random. It was aimed. Later, they would find out that bullet went straight through their tent, right where they had been sitting minutes before. They didn't move for a long time, no talking, no lights, nothing, because using a flashlight felt like inviting it. After a while, they found a fallen tree. Its roots had created this small hollow space underneath, like a natural hiding spot or a grave. They crawled inside, curled up in complete darkness, and waited. Minutes felt like hours. Every tiny sound felt too loud, a twig snapping somewhere far away, or maybe not so far. At one point, Sohan swore he heard footsteps, slow, heavy, circling, but he couldn't be sure. Because fear plays tricks on you, or maybe it doesn't. They stayed there until morning. Neither of them slept, not even for a second. When the first light finally touched the trees, they didn't waste time. They ran back. Didn't pack properly, didn't look around. Just grabbed what they could and got out. It took hours to reach their car, and the entire time, they had this feeling like they were still being watched. When they finally got signal, they called the police. An investigation was done. Officers searched the area, checked everything, but nothing. No footprints, no campsites, no signs of anyone else being there. It didn't make sense, because someone had fired those shots, and not just randomly. They were getting closer each time, like whoever it was adjusting, learning, targeting. But here's the part that still bothers Sohan. Years later, when he thinks about it, there were only two ways someone could have found them that night. Either they had been watching them the entire time, or they were never alone to begin with. And sometimes Sohan still wonders, did someone come back after they left and clean everything up? Or worse, was there never any evidence because whoever it was knew exactly how to leave none behind? And the scariest thought of all, what if those shots weren't meant to scare them away? What if they just got lucky and survived something that wasn't finished with them yet?